Are you telling yourself any lies? Are you holding back your progress as a music teacher because you believe some things that just are not true? I'm going to walk you through 6 different myths that I've seen teachers from all different backgrounds believing about our profession and about themselves that are holding them back from being successful as a music teacher. This first myth is a huge one. So many teachers believe that they shouldn't even be music teachers, that they're not good enough, that they don't have the background or the skills or the qualifications, the pieces of paper, the skills in one tiny particular area. So many teachers feel like this. The reason so many teachers feel imposter syndrome is because we do come from diverse backgrounds. We're usually creative people. Maybe we've transitioned from another career and we've landed here, and therefore we think that maybe this isn't where we should be. Even though we love it, even though we believe that we're doing the best by our students, even though we're trying our hardest, we think that we're not good enough. Well, let me tell you, you are. You absolutely are in the right place. If you want to be a great piano teacher, you are learning, you're getting better, and you're not an imposter. You're the real deal. We all look like this. This is the nature of piano teaching. Well, there's nothing wrong with reading at the first lesson if that's going to achieve what your students want to achieve and help them with their goals. You absolutely do not need to get started with reading right away. And the goal of piano lessons, of piano teaching, is not just reading. There's so much more to it than that. So many of us, I feel, have gotten trapped into this box of thinking that because method books focus so much on reading, and because we think of that as classical and traditional, we have to do it right away. We have to jump right into reading. And you absolutely do not. And you don't have to spend the majority of your time doing that. You can spend the first several months not using books at all. Or you can do little bits and pieces of it. Or you can delay reading for those students that need it. Or you can teach songs by ear and by rote. There's nothing wrong with any of those other approaches if you combine it with understanding your students' goals and a comprehensive curriculum that makes sense for you and your students. I believed this myth for so long myself. It didn't even occur to me to attempt to improvise or to teach improvisation until I was several years into teaching and quite a few years into playing. So, if you are scared of getting started with improvisation, or if you just think someone needs to give you permission to do that since you're not a jazz pianist, you don't have the background in that specific area, I'm giving you permission. Take it. Go out, improvise, try stuff out. The whole nature of improvisation is that it's about testing ideas, and your students will appreciate it if you're just honest about it being an experiment and that you're going to give it a go and keep things light together. Try out improvisation this week if you've been scared to try it, and trust me, you do not need to be a jazz pianist to do it. This is a general teaching misconception that I think is becoming more and more of a myth the further we go into the 21st century. You do not need to know everything. You don't have to have all the answers. Yes, you have to have the skills and the expertise. You have to take on that role and be your student's leader, their guide. But you don't need to know everything. If your student asks you about a term in their music and you just haven't seen it before, or you've forgotten because you haven't come across this particular word in ages, just tell them, I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to look it up. If you don't understand a particular thing that's happening, or you don't know a song that your student is referencing, or anything comes up like this, it's totally fine to say, I'm not sure on that one. Let me look that up so I can give you a thorough, comprehensive answer at our next lesson. Or let's just look it up quickly right now in Google. It's this. That's also connected to this word. You're going to be able to provide them more context around that. It's not just a matter of doing a Google search, but if you have to look on Google during your lesson, you are not a failure, and you do not need to hide it from your students. Just be honest with them. This is a huge one because it's not only affecting you, it's affecting the other teachers around you. Charging less will not get you more students. And it definitely will not get you better students. It's going to get you students who are looking for a deal. And those are not the students you want. I know it's tempting. I know that if you are in the beginning stages of building a studio, or you've lost a bunch of students and you need to regain your numbers and you're struggling financially, I know it's tempting to try and undercut, to try and go lower than the competition in your area so that you can fill your studio faster. But honestly, you probably won't even fill it faster, and you definitely are not going to fill it for the long term. Students who are willing to pay market price or above market price, who appreciate the service that you offer and want you as a teacher, and without regard to what you're charging, that's not the most important factor to them, those students are better students. They're higher quality and they're going to stick around for longer, and ultimately that's the cheaper option for you. As I said, it also affects the other teachers in your area. So please don't undercut. Please hold our industry up high, and we will all be better off for it, including you. If you've been scrabbling trying to do all of the things that you've seen around the internet, please stop. Please take a deep breath and just let it go. Because the truth is, you're seeing all these different things and feeling like you need to do all of them. But they were all done by different people. If you see one idea from me and another from another blogger, and find another on Pinterest and another on a YouTube channel and another at your local teacher association meeting, you feel like everyone is doing everything else, everything creative and fun and jazzy and great, and you're not doing it. The truth is, each one of those is a different person. So you don't have to do all of the things. You don't even have to do any of those things. What you have to do is write for your students. Take inspiration, take ideas, look up, research, but don't get lost in the research. Don't just collect all of these ideas and do nothing. Do one thing at a time. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. One thing. That's all I'm ever doing. One new thing at a time. And that's what you should be doing too, to improve your teaching in a way that is manageable and low stress and under control and really benefits your students. Those were the top 6 myths that I see happening all the time with teachers, new and experienced teachers. I hope that you enjoyed this rundown and that some of them resonated with you. Let me know which one struck a chord with you the most in the comments below. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you get the next one of these as soon as it goes live.